Yo, what's going on everyone? Miles Midoriya here with the review of All American Season 5, Episode 11. Man, I don't even know what to say about this episode. It was good on the emotional part, like they really drew it out, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna mention it early. Billy is gone. They messed me up with that one. I was not expecting that. From the beginning, Billy's having breakfast with his family. Olivia had put together something for the family, and it turns out it was Layla'S recipe. Jordan wondered why she never made it for him, and Olivia said, why would she do that? Jordan over there talking about because they're friends. Yeah, right, friends. The look Billy gave him meant that, yeah, he knows what's going on between the two of them. Billy brought up that he was going to tell his players that he's leaving and suggested to Jordan that he bring Spencer to the combine. Laura just told him talk to Spencer and work things out. They ended things off with all of them agreeing to have breakfast together. Billy said once a month with his favorite team. Next up, we see Spencer talking to Coop about Olivia wants to get back together, but he doesn't know if he's still in love with her. That's when Coop brought up if Alicia knows, and he says he didn't really tell her because he's trying to figure out what to say to Olivia. Coop let him know that he's going to have to come up with a good reason. Then the scene goes to Asher. He sees Jamie before he leaves for the combine, and Jamie tells him that she's pregnant. I was shocked hearing that. I was not expecting that at all. At first, Asher was going to stay, but she told him to go and they'll talk about it later. At the studio, Layla'S dad stops by, and he's a little upset about what Layla did, taking back the name. He let her know that he didn't know she wanted the company because she was building her own thing, but he apologized for that. But he did work hard building that label. I kind of get where he's coming from, but his name is still tied to Layla, and she'll be the one to make the name grow more. Moving along, Preach is at the school. He's being a teacher. He's letting one of the students know that they need to go back to detention. She's trying to go to the vending machines in the teacher's lounge, and he said nope, she needs to go back before she's late. All of a sudden, Amina popped up and he said he wasn't supposed to get her until the next weekend, and she said her grandma dropped her off early, which I already thought was funny because of how much they're going in with that custody battle. Either way, it was nice to see them together again. They both really care about each other. Olivia's at work and her boss lets her know that her article got picked up in 8 major news markets, so it's doing good. But she told Olivia that she had to turn down an interview, which meant she would have had to go there and reveal herself. Her boss let her know that she chose that route, but the people that work there noticed she wrote it and big things are coming to her. Olivia looks like she was thinking about something. Maybe she wants to start using her real name so she can get credit for her own articles. Moving along, Jordan and Layla are at the beach house having a brief discussion about the Clay situation, with her saying that she's going to go talk to him. While in the conversation, Spencer walked in and she tried to play it off. He told her that y'all don't have to pretend in front of him anymore. She told him it was a force of habit. At first I was like, why she move away from him? He already know the secret. After Layla left, Jordan brought up that he's helping with the combine, and he asked Spencer if he'd like to pitch in, and he hurried up and agreed. Jordan told him he must want to get out of something if he's willing to spend time with his dad, and he said he's there for the players, not him. Asher stopped by Billy's house to talk about Jamie being pregnant. He said he has so many questions and not a single answer. Billy told him that he will be ready. Asher asked him how did he know, and he said he's the most prepared player that he's ever coached. Billy told him that they should get ready to go to the combine, and Asher was so nervous that he walked into the kitchen. Billy just told him that they'll take the Crenshaw bus together since it seems like he's in no condition to drive. I said, this man really almost walked into the kitchen. What are you trying to do, make a snack or something? Preach, Coop, and Amina are in Billy's office. They're eating some snacks, and Coop mentioned that one of them almost broke her tooth. I think we had snacks like that before. Preach said he got him out the vending machine from the teacher's lounge. I don't know what they got in there, but it seems like barely anybody using it, and I see why. Amina's grandmother popped up. She thought Preach had went and got her, but Amina told her that she ran away because she didn't want to move to Baltimore. Preach did not agree with that. He got up out that chair, and the grandmother said, is this the part where he's supposed to be tough and intimidate her? He said, no, it's not like that. She brought up how she watched Preach grow up in the streets, so it seems like she's not trying to give him a chance. You could tell she's only focusing on the old him and not the new him that he's becoming. At the combine, Jordan and Spencer are chatting about Olivia wanting to get back together with him. Jordan said he didn't say anything, and Spencer said she didn't give him a chance to. Jordan figures out that she wanted to talk and he's avoiding it by going to the combine. Spencer mentioned that he could leave, and Jordan told him that he's already there, plus his dad is glad that he came there. Spencer asked him did he tell him, and he said nah, it was his idea. Spencer got mad saying Billy's gonna think he's extending some olive branch, and Jordan told him that he's the one making it complicated with Olivia and his dad. That is true, he is moving away from his issues instead of facing it. Layla went to go talk to Clay. He's putting up his new logo with his name on it. It says Clay Taylor Entertainment, and she said, is he really going to use those initials CTE because it's a sport-related brain injury? He hurried up and went past it, and when she brought it up again, he said the full name, and you could just tell he was getting irritated. She said he can have the name back, she was wrong, and he asked, does she think she was wrong, or is it her father that thinks she was wrong? Layla said doesn't matter. Basically, Clay told her to keep the name and work on her dad issues somewhere else, which means she's going to have to go talk to her dad and let him know how she feels. Back at the combine, Jabari's talking to Billy, asking about him leaving, and the other players are asking questions. Billy said he's going to tell them, and Jabari said whatever he decides, he has his back, that if he didn't go play for his team, he wouldn't have bigger and better opportunities in his future. When Billy heard that, that could have been something that he added to what he was already thinking. Also, I did see a few people mention that Jabari was the one that was supposed to get taken out of the show, and that was what I originally thought too as well. It was mostly based on a few times that they showed him talking to some of the characters, and also from that conversation that he just had. We get to see the first Coach Montez that we seen from Beverly. Asher's talking to her, and she mentions how he was her secret weapon. Now he's her husband's secret weapon, and he tried to play it off saying they're doing good without him, but she told him that it was different when he was there. Billy walked over and he asked her how his old office was, and she said they just keep adding banners to it. Asher asked Billy what was his secret to coaching, and he said he couldn't tell him because they're going to be rivals next year. Asher let Billy and Montez know how much they mean to him, that both of them helped him become the person who he is today. With that said, he was going to leave because Montez doesn't like those moments, but she did thank him for what he said. Montez asked Billy about him leaving, and he said he hasn't told his team yet. He asked her, does she think about what her next step would be, and she said Beverly is her next step. She told him, look at what they get to do. Those players need them. They look up to them. Some people assume she hasn't applied to a D1 job because she's a woman, but she's right where she belongs, and that she's sure he has his reasons for moving on. After she said that, it echoed what Spencer said to him before. That may be a sign of him not taking that job and staying there. Spencer ends up talking to one of the receivers about how he should focus catching the ball because he was laughing it off. He told him that he would catch the next one, no big deal. Spencer let him know that it's not about the drop ball. It's showing those coaches that he doesn't care, and that him and the other players know that he has talent, so don't give the coaches a reason not to pick him. Jabari walked over and said he had a scary flashback of him getting at him in practice, and he told him it worked, didn't it? Jabari mentioned to Spencer that they get to be reunited with Coach Baker at GAU next year, and Spencer said at what cost. But he did say that Coastal is the lucky one. They got themselves a star, and that they will have to play against each other, and Jabari said on October 7th. When I heard that part back, I wondered if that's a time frame for when that episode would drop when we see that. At the cafe, Coop is having a talk with Amina's grandmother. She thought she was going to be meeting with Coop's mom, but nope, she told her to say that to get her there. Amina's grandmother said that Coop's mom mentioned that she's working at a law firm. Coop said yes, and her reply was that she really turned her life around, and Coop said the same for Preach. She told her that they're still moving, and Coop said don't move because she thinks they're protecting Amina from her father. Amina's grandma went on again about how she watched Preach grow up in the streets. Coop told her that she watched her grow up, and she said herself she was able to turn her life around. Why is she so sure that he can't turn his life around as well? That's right, Coop let her know. She's not giving them a chance. And before I seen this part, I said they might have a scene where she actually sees the real Preach and how he's changed. Next is Spencer talking to Grace about Billy and Olivia. She asked him as he talked to him, and he told her that he said everything he had to say. She didn't believe it, plus he wouldn't be there. He told her he's there to help out. Also, he's avoiding Olivia because she wants to get back together. She asked, is that a bad thing? He said he doesn't know yet. What has changed since they broke up? Grace says he has. He's not as happy. Before she left, he had asked her why did she forgive Billy so easily. She told him he doesn't need her forgiveness. She confronted him, spoke her piece, and moved on. They aren't going to be divided forever. He told her that he said what he had to say, and she was like, it seems like there's more to be said. Back at the studio, Layla's working with a producer named Sean on the song. He asked her how was it, and she broke down what could be worked on. At first, I thought he was going to leave after she was giving feedback on the song. Then her father stopped by. He knew who the producer was, and it was actually someone who turned down working with him. Sean just said it was never the right time. JP asked him what was he doing there, and he told him that he was there to test Layla. He sees she's making a name for herself. By that, she already knew he knew what was missing from the song. He told her he wants to work with her, that he sent that song to 20 producers or more. Nobody criticized it besides her. He doesn't want someone to tell him the song is good. He wants someone to help him make the song great. That's when she told her dad that she'll talk to him later. He understood. The look on his face was like he was proud of her, seeing his daughter grow into her own with her business. Spencer ends up talking to Billy, and he says to him, if he's gonna leave, tell them right away. They're talking about being excited for the next season, and the longer he waits, the harder it'll be. Billy said he needed more time, but Spencer said it will never be the right time. He knows what it's like to be blindsided. Don't do that to them. They got enough obstacles they gotta face, and they don't need the man that they look up to the most stringing them along like he's always gonna be there for them. Billy did ask Spencer are they good, and he said he needs more time. After watching the episode and hearing that back, it's kinda sad to hear that. At the school, there are two students fighting. Preach broke it up, and he wasn't having that. They tried to go outside to fight, and he wasn't having that either. Then we see Coop and Amina's grandmother walking into the building, and they're overhearing Preach talking. He told the two students if he reports it, they're getting expelled. They said he won't do that. He said, why not? And one of them said that her brother told her that no one messes with Preach. He was in prison, right? He said that her brother should have told her that he's an example of someone that can turn their life around. He has a daughter now and he's going to tell them like he would tell her. No one's going to make your life easier, but they can make their life harder. One of them asked, what does that mean? He told them that nobody's going to open the doors for them, but if they keep acting like that, there are people out there that can't wait to close the doors in their face. So stop acting like fools and fighting and they'll be good. Billy's finally having a talk with his team. He said it's true that he's been offered the head coaching job at GAU. He accepted it, but he's been thinking about it these past couple of days. After seeing how they've been working hard on the football field to make Crenshaw a better team next year, he realized that he made a mistake and that someone told him that he would be crazy to lead the man that Crenshaw made him. He was right, so he's staying right where he belongs. I was like, look at Billy, he gonna stay. That's what's up. You kind of got that feeling that he was gonna stay from a few other episodes, and especially this one. After everything's done, Jordan and Billy have a talk. He's apologizing to him about deciding to stay. Jordan told him that he'll be fine. He'll have plenty of coaches in his future and only one dad. Billy was like, he changed his mind in the moment and seen how his players were doing out there. Jordan told him that he liked hearing what his dad had to say. Billy told him that he could call some people about the transfer portal if he wants to leave, and Jordan said he's right where he belongs, so he is going to stay at GAU. Also, Billy noticed that Jordan seemed happier than he has been in a long time, and he told him that love will do that to you. I said, I knew he knew it, the way he looked at him at that table earlier in the episode. Jordan wondered what he was talking about, and Billy said he has the worst poker face ever. He told Jordan to tell Layla she officially has his approval. Jordan asked, how did he know? And he told him he's his father. Layla's dad came back and she told him that Clay wouldn't change the name back, and he told her he's glad she didn't fix it. He tells her that when he was her age, he wasn't doing what she was doing. He was washing dishes at a diner, and he showed her a logo he drew for Keating Records. He told her that she's his legacy, and he's sorry that it took him so long to realize that. He's glad she got their name back and that everything is under one roof. Glad that he was able to come around and see what she was trying to do, that she will take everything further. Billy has a talk with Grace telling her that he had a quick U-turn. She asked why, and he said it was Spencer. He was right about everything, and she said maybe he should tell him that. The scene goes to Spencer at the Baker's mansion going to go talk to Olivia. He got a call from Billy, but he didn't pick it up. I said he should have picked it up before the episode even finished. He should have took the call instead of turning his phone off. The scene briefly went back to Billy leaving a message on Spencer's voicemail that we hear later. Amina's back at the school. Preach was like, what is she doing there? Her grandmother's going to move her out the country. I was like, she probably would if she didn't see how he handled that situation earlier. Preacher and the grandmother have a talk, and she basically says she possibly misjudged him, and she's seen how much she needs her dad, but she also needs them too. She's all they have left. Amina's grandmother promised a shared custody agreement that they were thinking 2 or 3 weekends out of the month. Preach said he would have wanted more time, but he'll take anything, but she said no, they will get the 2 or 3 weekends out of the month, and she'll be living with him full time. Here it goes. They're on the school bus and Asher and Billy are talking. Billy thought Asher was working, but he told him that he was writing down some questions about being a dad, and Billy said he won't be able to answer all of them. Billy said he asked him what his secret to coaching was. He said it was simple. He just tries to act like a father to the players, that they're all his kids, and that Asher was one of his favorites. He continued with, just try to be someone that they can look up to. All you can do is just point them in the right direction and hope they stay on that path. He told Asher he has a big heart, he's a great coach, and he will even be a better father. Asher asked him how long will it take to figure it out. Billy said that's the best part about it. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take to figure it out because the one thing he has is time. That was such a touching moment with him giving Asher advice and helping him out. When time was brought up in this episode, also it's in the title, at that point you could probably tell that something was going to happen, and just then the bus tire blew. Grace and Jordan were right behind them. They were checking to see where Billy was at. Asher got hurt on his arm, but he was okay. Billy was good. He was just helping some of the players get off the bus. Next, the scene shows Olivia at the office. Her boss tells her that her article got nominated for an award. Olivia said if she wins, she can't accept the award. As her boss was about to say something, a lady walked in. She mentioned about the bus crash, and it sounds like it was a football team. Olivia called her mom about the accident. She told her look at the news, and she thinks it's her dad's bus. She told her to stay at the house, and she's on her way. Back on the scene, you can tell Billy is a little shaken up. Jordan and Grace are trying to calm him down. Grace told him that he should call Laura, and she's going to call Spencer. Next, we see Spencer going into the house. He wanted to talk to Olivia, and she asks him has he not gotten his messages, and she tells him what happened. Billy calls and tells them everyone is okay and what happened with the bus. They all say they love each other, and once they're off the phone, Billy notices that Jabari isn't there. He looks at Grace and he goes to the bus, and she's trying to tell him not to go, but he goes anyway. At the house, Spencer starts listening to the voicemail. It was a good message, and just then we see a bunch of scenes. Asher made it back home, JP's putting up the logo that he drew, and Jordan and Grace come back without Billy. Once they tell everyone what happened, we just see the emotion in the room. Spencer walked over to Jordan and Olivia. Jordan told him that his dad is gone. Everyone is breaking down, and once Billy's message ends, we see him earlier where he was at on the football field, and his character just disappears and the episode ends. In a way, they kind of had Billy complete some stuff. Him spending time with his family that morning, talking to Asher about him being a father and a coach, and telling his team and Spencer about his decision to stay. I did read the article as to why Taye Diggs won't be in the show, but it will be different not seeing Billy in it anymore. The show will go on, and I can't wait to check out what they do next. I will say though that when that happened, I couldn't even focus watching All American Homecoming. They did a good job on that last scene and how they put everything together. They really brought out the emotion felt in that scene. Y'all let me know in the comment section down below, what did you think about this episode and what was your favorite part from it? Here's a trailer breakdown for episode 12. Thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.